Good. So this is me here. You can cut off. I see somebody on a webcam. No, webcam not required here. You can switch off the webcams because it will take away a lot of your bandwidth. So this is me. I am now talking to you from Bangalore, and I would like you to. I'll just give you a few seconds to read out about myself. Somebody has put on their webcam. I suggest you switch off. Who's this? I can't read this name. E. Raja. Okay. So I've been involved in SAP for a long time. I'm an entrepreneur now, but I still do. Still in touch with SAP. I still do hands-on in SAP. I can still train people in consulting. My major skill is more in now in process improvements, and I've started a new thing called how do you make SAP work for you. So many organizations complete transactions using SAP, work a lot to make SAP work, but is SAP working for you? That's the question which I always ask my clients, and that's where I get a lot of my business. Okay, I think that's about myself. So let us get straight into what we are going to talk. See, before, what is it that you're going to take away from this 1 hour of your time on a Friday evening? This particular session is basically for people who are trained on ECC or working on ECC or any of the SAP products, but have no exposure to SAP HANA. This is the session for them. And then we'll also talk about how do you upgrade yourself on SAP HANA. And that's a secret. It's going to be free of cost. So if you want to know how to do it, you got to wait till 5 p.m. You'll get to know that. So how do you do it? And why should you do it? Most important is why should you upgrade yourself into this digital world? How do you do it? And how much does it cost? I've already given you the cost figure. So that is something which would be very interesting for you. Nowadays, nothing is free in this world. Anyway, so this is going to be a very, very high level overview of what is HANA. I'm not going into too many specifics unless if I get some questions. This is going to be a very high level overview. As I told you, this particular the audience here, the expected audience here is people who don't know, who are working on SAP but don't know about HANA. So if you look at it, I don't have to go about telling that the digital transformation is taking place. No, the answer is digital transformation has already taken place. I think everybody knows that. There's no questions on this. Even if you look at this slide here, that's going to talk about 212 billion things to be connected. I think it's very low. It will be much more. You look at the people walking around on the streets, you will see them, all of them having Fitbits. Now machines are having Fitbits. There are sensors coming on everywhere. There are sensors coming at home. There are sensors coming on cars, everywhere. So the data that's going to be there, the digital data that is going to be there is going to be humongous. I think there is no discussions on this, and most of the solutions are now going to be put on the cloud. You look at it right now, the emails which you operate, the WhatsApp which you have on your phone are all on the cloud. Can you please share the cost figure again? Somebody asked. Cost figure will come in the end. Don't worry about it. I already given out the secret. I told you it's free. So hold on. We'll get to know about it in the end. So is the screen size okay? So that I can see the chat and I can keep answering to make it a little more interactive. I think you can read this screen, I guess. Yes, screen size is all right. But you will just see the chat screen over here. But I use it, I like my sessions to be more interactive. So good. Next slide. Now, I think this also everybody knows. There's no questions on this. I'm just putting up the context over here. Digital economy is a reality. You look at it. Don't go to America or outside world. Look at India itself. Look at Aadhaar card. The Aadhaar card has a biometric. It has got your thumbprint. It has got your biometric eye, and it has got all your data. And that is moving across at the speed of light. You buy a SIM card now. You to know about who you are, you just have to show your fingerprint. By the time you buy your SIM card and reach home, the cell phone is activated. I'm sure many of you must have gone through this. Am I right? Just say yes if you have. That is the digital economy which has become a reality now. That's what we are talking about here. So if you look at it, you just open the newspaper today, it says all your bank accounts, your LIC policies, your mutual funds, everything has to be connected to Aadhaar. That is digital for me. There was one more thing. I don't know if you read the paper. 2 days back, Government of India said if somebody has declared income from agriculture income is tax free. If anybody has declared that their income has got from agriculture, they have to tell which land it is, and that land is checked up. They go back to the satellite picture of that period of harvesting to see whether that crop was really grown. Okay, and based on that, they will clarify whether that income which this person is telling is genuine or not. Look at the way the digital economy is running. This is not America, this is not Europe, this is India. So this is become a reality. By all means, there is no more. In fact, it is going to burst all the estimates of the numbers which has been talking about the digital economy value. So all that will go off very soon. It is exponentially rising. Now, let's come back to little more about. We talked about a very large scale about a country and all those things. Let's come back to a company. Now, let's look at. I'm sure let's look at finance. The third column which I'm talking about here. Here, the digital economy we are talking about is transforming many businesses, but are the businesses ready for handling digital economy? That's the question. It has to be fast. A very good example is, I always seen this, is closure of financial results at the end of every month. How fast and how accurate are you? That's a very good indication of how good the SAP implementation has been, or how the process in the organization is currently. That itself tells you, and how can you monitor your invoices in real time. Next, let's take a manufacturing company. I'm sure many of you are there in that currently. Can you be predictive and intelligent? Is maintenance reactive or predictive? Can you predict and say when is the next maintenance going to come from? Now, and manufacturing, connected and customized. One of my customers in a manufacturing organization, they make agricultural machines for rice mills. Okay. Now, what that person was talking. He said, the managing director of that company, he said, I want all my machines which are in the rice fields in villages, sensors on them, connected, and the sensor data should come to my command center in Bangalore, and I predict based on the vibration that happens on that machine, tell when the next maintenance is going to be. Can you imagine this? And that is an ECC customer. That is the kind of economy, digital transformation we are talking about here. If you like this example, just say okay, guys. So that I don't see you, but you don't see me. Good. So this is happening in. And also one more thing. There was a digital transformation is really going at the good and right direction. Sachin is saying that. I completely agree, Sachin. This is the way it is going in, and the people like you and me have to be ready for it. That's the whole point of this seminar or this webinar. I'm sorry. Okay, so I go to the next slide. Now, this is again a problem here, which I have seen. I'm at the ground level here. There are a lot of things which are getting, the time is getting wasted. In fact, I always go and check. I do a lot of audits in companies who have implemented SAP. One of the things I always check is how fast can you do invoice to your customer, and believe me, most of them are delayed. By the time the invoice goes to the customer, it will be 3 to 4 days old, and from there 30 days is taken into account. You lost 3 days of money coming into your bank account. You're delayed. And why? That's because of whatever process is not good, it's inefficiency, or whatever you call it. This is the greatest barrier of digital transformation. It's not only the tools which you're talking about or the IT systems, it is even the business process. So given all this context, digital economy, transformation, the complexity, here comes the one solution to all, what we talk about as HANA. Now HANA is one of the most used word in SAP now. You've got to be very careful when you understand what is HANA. When you say HANA, you will understand this in the next 20 minutes. You got to know what is the prefix and suffix of HANA to know what solution are we talking about here. That is one thing which is going to be confusing for you, because SAP is now branding every solution of its as prefix or suffix of HANA. So unless you know what prefix or suffix we are talking about, you won't know what solution it is. So here we are. Just look at the top of the screen here. The digital economy on the left, which says you must have heard of all these things: big data, Internet of Things, the networks, the devices, social network, and the people. The core digital we are talking about is sitting in the center. Now, what is this core digital? Core digital, I'll come back to this point again. Core digital is nothing but all your ECC modules. All your ECC modules of your finance, controlling, sales, materials, HR, etc., etc. That is the digital core which SAP is talking about, and that is now going to run on S4 HANA. The new thing is called S4 HANA. Now, the question to you you may have is this going to replace ECC? The answer is yes. When? The answer is 2025. As per documented data available on the internet from SAP officially, 2025 is end of life of ECC. It may get postponed, I don't know, I'm not too sure of it. 2025 is not too far off. It's something similar to linking Aadhaar to your bank account. Come December, they'll say, okay, we'll do it till March. So same thing like that may happen, I don't know. But as of now, 2025 is end of life for ECC. That is official. Now, what will have the customers have to do? They have to switch over to S4 HANA or whatever is equivalent 7 years from now. Now, why is S4 HANA going to be important? What is it that it's going to play a role in digital? How is it ready for digital is what we're going to look at now. Now, let me go back and tell you what is HANA. Now, if you look at this slide, I have given a suffix called HANA platform. Please give me time for 2 more slides. You will understand all this well. Now, if you read whatever is seen on your screen, I'll just make it bigger so that you can see it nice and clear. Just read the boxes which are there. The heading of the boxes, you see my mouse moving here: application development, advanced analytical processing, data integration, database management. Everything here is revolving around data. If you remember, somebody said, I don't know who it is, the new oil in this era is data. Earlier days, people who had oil were considered rich. Now the people who can manage data, that company will be considered rich. It's everything related to data. Even Hollywood is talking about data. Just an aside, I don't know if you people are watch Hollywood movies. The latest of Jason Bourne movie, he was not after oil, he was not after money. The villain of the movie was after data of a search engine. He wanted to steal the data, and Jason Bourne stops him. So even Hollywood knows what is important. Okay. So the company or the people who can know how to manage data is a winner, and SAP has given all these things on this platform called HANA. Is HANA database management replacing DB6? Please hold on, I'll tell you in a while. Somebody asked me this question. So let's look at. We will go into little of this bit by bit in a few moments, or maybe I'll come back to the screen again. What is this? What is SAP HANA we are talking about? Okay. Now, I'm sure all of you must have seen a BW instance in your customer or company or wherever you are working. Am I right? You have seen a BW? Yes? Somebody? Yeah. Anupam Chatterjee says yes. Good. Nobody else? Yep. Jagdish. So there you had two servers. One was the ECC server and it was mirroring. There was another mirror called BW server, which was having the same data and on which you were doing your analytics operations. Correct? Anupam and Jagdish, am I right? Correct. Anupam says yes. That's exactly how it was working. If you use HANA, you don't need to have two servers, just one. That is what they call as in-memory computing. That's the technical definition. I leave the textbook definition across. That is what this whole thing is about. Instead of two servers, that is that in a technical language, if you have to say OLTP and OLAP server are different. In earlier days, if you use HANA, it becomes one. That is a big difference. It has got a lot of computing power to do everything on one server. How cool is it? It can handle a lot of I'm sorry about the spelling mistake. I don't know how I missed this. Structured and unstructured data. Now, what do you mean by unstructured data? Anybody? It's nothing but for example, whatever you see on your Facebook, the data which comes from your Facebook is unstructured data. So suppose a lot of data comes in a product. For example, you assume you're selling a soap. There could be a lot of chatter happening on Twitter on that particular soap, how good or bad it is. It's all text. It's unstructured data. It's not actually garbage data, Anupam. It's unstructured data. So that data, you have to find something good in it, and you have to have a method in that madness to find out whether what people are actually saying. What is the trend? For example, if you look at these political parties which we have, I don't want to name them and bring politics into this. All of them are hired specialists to manage unstructured data. They are all these political parties have a huge IT cell who is checking out all FB, that is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which comes out as unstructured data to find what trend it is. Is this particular candidate trend is going up, down, or nowhere? That is what is happening. Now, next point is very important. If you look at it, earlier days it was only ABAP. Now it's all open source. You can use any of these, whatever I've written here is Java, JavaScript, Python, etc. etc. I'm just not, the list goes on. This is the platform we are talking about here. Now, this is a good slide which will give you what are we talking about here. When it first came out as HANA, it came as a in-memory platform. It was basically running like a database. And then slowly it became real-time analysis, real-time reporting. Then it became the whole. Please read this. In 2013, OLAP and OLTP together. That's exactly what I meant. That means no more separate BW server. Everything is in one place. The system is capable of doing it. Next came, the first thing which came out was in ECC replacement was Simple Finance. That is FI and CO was replaced, called Simple Finance. I won't go too deep into this, but just for your one-line definition, nowadays, sorry, in earlier days you had FI and CO separate. Now it's all combined. You had separate accounting documents coming out for FI and then separate journal entries happening in CO separately. Now it's become one single ledger. That is a major difference. Somebody who is in functional consulting of FI should also know what is CO and vice versa. Next came the latest one in S4 HANA is the user experience. We'll talk about it in a little while. What is this user experience we're talking about? And what is this advanced processing we're talking about? I go back to my previous slide here. The most important thing here, which I find very good, is here. Wherever I have used HANA, I always found where you see my mouse where it is moving. This one. This is what most of the customers buy it for. You have all the tools available for doing predictive analysis, checking out text analytics. Text analytics is basically your whatever we talk about the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter data which is going to come out. So I can do analysis of that and do a reporting of it. This is what is the most juicy thing for me. When I go and do a sell to a customer, this is what I always say and they love it. This is again a master stroke because Java, Python and many other applications are very good and advanced in handling all these features. So yeah, the best of the breeds. Next slide. This slide which I just put in to show that S4 HANA is not standalone. It's integrated with all other modules of SAP. It's integrated with all other solutions of SAP. You'll find all of them over here. Okay. Next. Now, we talked about complexity of solutions, complexity of processes. How is HANA going to simplify it? Now, if you see the screen over here, there are these are all. If you please read what is written in blue. What you have to read is what is written in blue. They have given you, SAP HANA gives you apps. I repeat, apps. Just like the way you have apps on your phone, be it Android, be it iOS. Similarly, SAP has several apps. I really don't know the count. I don't think even SAP knows it. It's being added every day. These kind of apps are available. Instead of you going around and checking the configuration nodes, a SAP HANA consultant should go and look at the apps and select the apps which you want to use. We'll talk more about apps in the coming few minutes. So these are the apps which are there which you use, and these apps, when connected to your backend, you can see it on your iPad, you can see it on your phone, you can see it on your laptop, desktop, anywhere. And the screen is completely exactly like this, what you see over here. It's exactly the way you see your Google phone or an iPhone. It's all got changed. With ECC, you cannot do all this. Now, how does the screen look like? How does the screen look like? The screen looks like this. Just the name which I am putting over here is the presentation layer. Now there, if you take any application, there are three levels to application. One is the database, application, and the presentation layer. If I have to do a mapping, the database layer is called the HANA. The application layer is called S4 HANA. Okay, database layer is called HANA. The application layer is called S4 HANA. The presentation layer is called Fiori. People who come from ECC background, we didn't have an option of the how the look and feel is going to be. It was standard. Either you take it or leave it. No longer. Now you have apps. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you see these apps which is coming out of screen. You just have to go to the website, pick up those apps and start using them. Our whole life has become app based now, even at work and even at home. So this is called SAP Fiori apps, which we have over here. Has anybody used Fiori apps? Anybody? Just type in. Anupam says yes. Good. So let's go and see them. How it looks like. So I'm just going to that web page. How the app looks like. Come on, open. Yeah. Look at. This is where the Fiori app looks like. You as a consultant, you go there, pick up those apps. I'll just show you some sample. Please look at the left hand side of my screen here. All lines of business. You have all here, everything, whatever you see on ECC is sitting over here. Let me take example. This one. Okay, sales. Sales has almost finance has 525 apps. Of course, when I say finance, it includes controlling also. There are two modules clubbed together. Sales. So you take, for example, see there you got to see all this. You know, there you got to see which one you want to use. Let's take billing document. I'm just picking up random. So here you go. This is an app which you need to download. You go and check here. So this is how the output of the Fiori app for billing will look like. So this has got connected to all the backend S4 HANA. If you have done any customizing, if you've done your custom field or a custom program, you got to make those necessary adjustments. It's not difficult. It's quite simple. So this is how the app looks like. You have complete freedom to make changes to this. Complete freedom to make changes to this. So this is how it looks like on your phone. It looks like this is how it looks like on your iPad, desktop, wherever. So this is the Fiori app which we are talking of. Very powerful. People, customers just love it. Oops, what happened? How do I go back? Yep, this was closed. Okay, you get an idea of the Fiori apps which are there. Somebody? Now you know what these apps are, where you use them. Somebody can just type in yes, no. Yes, you got an idea. Yes, that's good enough. Here you get an idea of what all we can do. Completely different from ECC. That's what I'm trying to show you here. Now I go back to my slides. Okay, so I'm going to a new topic here. Before I topic, I'll just pause here and quickly summarize. What is S4 HANA? S4 HANA is going to be replacing ECC, or is already replacing many cases. And the database used is HANA database. The application is called S4 HANA, which is something very similar to ECC. It's got all those modules, but of course there are a lot of changes to that. One big change is FI and CO module has become one. There are many tables which has got modified, simplified, okay, across all modules. It's got modified and simplified. And then you have a presentation layer for the look and feel called Fiori. And how do you create those Fiori? You have apps. I will show you some more apps. Everything has become app based. Now quickly before I running out of time, I may take 5 more extra minutes if you don't mind, because I want to show you some more things. There's one more poor cousin of HANA called HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, now this is completely, as I told you, SAP uses a lot of names which keeps changing. HANA Cloud Platform is completely different from S4 HANA. Because of this name confusion which happened, I think in the month of October they changed this to what is called as SAP Cloud now. Repeat, there's another application completely different from S4 HANA which is now called as SAP Cloud. Now what does this do? This is again a platform. You see this here, PaaS, P-A-S-S. It is called as platform as a service. It gives you a platform on the cloud to create programs, to integrate with other applications, to develop new applications, to have mobile applications running, and to talk to machines and sensors. Understood? This is nothing completely different from S4 HANA. This is platform as a service to create your own custom built applications on the cloud. If you look at this, I'm not going to too much detail into this. All you got to know is, see here on this you have S4 HANA here on the left hand side, and this is HANA Cloud Platform or SAP Cloud as we call it. It is for you to build. See, if you look at it, you have a lot of applications in any of the environment in which you are. You have SAP applications and non-SAP applications in your landscape. How do you talk to those non-SAP applications which are there, and how do you make them go digital? The answer to that is SAP Cloud. Old name SAP HANA Cloud Platform. That's all. As long as you know this, it's good enough. Understood. Thank you, Sachin. Now, what does it do? It does all of this. It does all of this. Whatever you're seeing over here. So I repeat, this SAP Cloud, old name SAP HANA Cloud Platform, is used as a platform to go digital. That means create new integration with other systems or S4 HANA, create new applications, create mobile applications. And what is the best part of this? You can try it for free, absolutely free. Now I have that. I'll just move this chat box here. See, I'm on SAP Cloud Platform here. You can try it for free. You don't have to be a customer of SAP. You go there, register just like you register for any Gmail, and they'll give you one platform for you to do your applications. The only thing, the catch here is you cannot go into production. You can do development and for testing. You can't productionize it. And the amount of data which you have access to, amount of GBs you have is very less. Of course, there has to be somewhere everything can't be so free. So for people who are developers here, I don't know who are any developers here, I don't know. You can try this for free. And many people have used it whom I know, whoever is learning are using this cloud platform, SAP Cloud, sorry, and learning it. It's quite good. It's quite technical, of course. This is not for functional guys, it's more for technical people. But a good way to learn this is this. Okay, I've already given you something free now. Okay, now before I go into this one, I want to show you something else. Yep. Now, 1 minute. Somebody is asking a question. Is this different? Is it development based on ABAP language? The answer is no. The development is not based on ABAP language. ABAP is internal to ECC and SAP alone. The development you do In this platform is Java, JavaScript, Python, and many more languages. Equivalent of C plus, you have JSON and some more languages. All open source languages can be used. One simple line answer. All open source, whether it's coming from Microsoft, Google, or whoever it is, all open source platforms can be used over here. That is the beauty of this. Deepak, understood? Okay. Now I want to show you something else here, very interesting, called App Center, SAP App Center. This is something very similar to you or your Google apps, Apple apps. See here. You see here starting at free. Just like when if you like it, you can use it and then you can pay later. Now see here, this person is charging $2,500. I don't know what this is. I have not used all of them. So even if you have tomorrow, you create a new app which for a customer which is good, put it on the web app store. Somebody may buy it and you can make some money. Whatever this is called, some code search, visual project management software. Here is the trending S4 HANA apps. I have not used all of them. Some are certified by SAP, some are not. The ones which are certified by SAP is costly. You see here, this is $1,500 per month. Anybody seeing this App Center for the first time? Somebody? Yes. So here are some of the popular apps. Some are free. In fact, one of my customers is trying to put one of their apps for free to test it out. So you look here, list your application. You see this here? You have a good application running. Why don't you do it yourself? Okay. Good. Absolutely, it's all good for end users. Who's that? I don't know your name. You've written a code there. Good. So I come to the last point of my topic here, which is very interesting, called Open SAP. Now, what is this Open SAP? Anybody seeing Open SAP, hearing Open SAP for the first time? Yes. Now, what is Open SAP? I'll click on this URL. In fact, I've already opened it, so I don't have to do it. This is Open SAP for you. Okay, just type Open SAP, you will get it. Here are training programs. Here are training programs given to you. You means anybody. Aam Aadmi. What is the cost? Free. So I'll just type in here. Let me do one search. I'll do one search here. I have to just move this. I'll move it here, and then I'll just type in SAP HANA. Sorry, SAP S4 HANA. Okay. Right. You have procurement transformation. How do you data migration to SAP to S4? There's several of them. You know? Text search with SAP HANA platform. All of these are free of cost. It is just like your Coursera. I don't know how many of you have seen Coursera or lynda.com. Okay, most of it courses there are free. There are some standard things like for starters, like saying that what is SAP HANA, how do you start using it, now how do you use HR plus finance and SAP success factors, how do you implement S4 HANA. This is another interesting thing. I don't know how this Chinese came here or Japanese, I don't know what is this. This is very nice. How do you build your own SAP Fiori app in the cloud? What are the use cases of S4 HANA? S4 HANA deep dive. So all you got to do is click here, enroll for this course, and it's on demand. There are videos there, there are reading material there, and there are some quiz programs there. And once you finish, you get a certificate. That's assuming you have answered all your questions. If not, again you can take it up. So Sachin has already used it. Good. So please use this. The whole thing which we wanted to show you here, the whole objective of this particular webinar was for you to tell you how important this digital transformation is, how HANA is working on it, and we wanted to show you Open SAP. And please make use of this. It's completely free. And if you are having development inclination, or whoever is in the development background, please use SAP Cloud, which is again free. You will have your own account and you can try out. Okay, what is HANA administrator? HANA administrator is, see, for example, I'll come to this question again. Ashish is asking for this. Give me a few seconds. Let me finish the last slide and then I'll take all questions. Last slide. So this is my last slide. I want you to read this. This is reality, guys. This is reality. What are the challenges we have today? Please read this. So we need to learn, unlearn, relearn. And you see, this is not my dialogues. This is written by World Economic Forum, written by Harvard Business Review. So now the trend is digital. Unless we go digital ourselves, we won't exist. And how do you go upgrade your skills? Please use Open SAP. Please use HANA Cloud Platform, which are available free of cost. Okay. This is where I am in. As I said, I may take 5 more extra minutes to answer all your questions. So let me go ahead and start reading one by one. I know Coursera and lynda.com. Okay, this is not a question, this is a statement. Okay, what is HANA administrator? See, if you look at it, HANA comes on premises as well as on cloud. How do you manage that? See, if you look at it, administration aspect if on a cloud is very minimum. Most of it is done by the person who gives you the cloud platform, be it Amazon, be it Google, Microsoft, or SAP themselves. So basically, you'll say how much of memory I allocate to this program or this user, and the amount of maintenance is very minimum on cloud. So how do you administer it? And administration also includes authorizations. So for a BW background candidate with certificate, see, for a BW background, you got to get into analytics. Analytics comes out with lot of playground areas like predictive analytics. How do you do this? How do you on the cloud integrate big data using Hadoop? You're talking of certification courses, HA11, HA300. I don't know about these certification courses. What we are saying is use Open SAP. There are a lot of courses there. And once you finish that, then come over to all these new courses. Right? Now, what is simple logistics? As I said earlier, see now logistics, all these modules have undergone changes from ECC in the back end. The number of database tables, for example, in Material Masters, if I remember right, there were about 26 material tables, master tables. I think it has now come down to 2 or 3. For example, MSEG, people who are in logistics, I don't know, I think who was this? MSEG data, if you remember, MSEG database table, I'm sure you know it. Who was this asking this question? I forgot. Ashish, I think. MSEG table no longer exists in S4 HANA. So they have made it much more simpler, and to run an MRP for across several thousand materials, it takes less time. And it's all app based, where you pick up the app and start running it instead of like the way it was done in traditional ECC. But however, the logic for account assignment, the logic for many of those pricing procedures will still remain the same. Those won't change. So whoever is here should look at what is the delta differences between their respective modules. Majority of the changes coming in FI and CO and integration to FI and CO, because now CO has got merged with FI. Okay, Sachin Das. Now this is my explanation of this. See, basically, if you look at any application, you have you have a database layer, you have the core layer, application layer, and a presentation layer. So the database layer is the HANA database, application layer is S4 HANA, and the application layer is the presentation layer is Fiori. Okay, and how do you transform ECC to S4 HANA on premise? What are all the prerequisites? There are a lot of huge prerequisites, Anupam, because as I said, the tables have got changed. Any custom built programs which you have made has to undergo all those changes. There's a huge checklist given here. Again, I'm sure it is there in that open SAP. One course is there which will give you all the list of what all the things which you should have, a checklist. So all that is available. It's not too straightforward, but it's still doable. Many people who have gone to S4 HANA recently, I think in October, in SAP Decade, they announced the 1000th customer of S4 HANA going live. Okay, so Anupam, if you are going greenfield implementation, how do you migrate master data? There's a course for this, Open SAP. To answer your question, it is as same. The methodology is same as what you did in ECC. No change, except the table names are different and the number of fields will remain the same, but the number of tables will drastically reduce. Can you share your email? It's there on my LinkedIn, so you can connect me on LinkedIn. You get everything. Okay, I think I've answered your questions. Any more? So basically, what has happened in if you look at, if I have to summarize to whatever I am talking about, how Lithan can help me get certification. You go to opensap.com. You don't need anybody. Of course, there are certain other courses which are still going through, like the advanced courses will still go through classroom session and certification. But the basic courses are now being offered free of cost, which Lithan encourages you to use it. Okay, so this is the HANA platform which I'm talking about. See, now what has happened over here is, if you look at it once again, coming back to this after hearing me, all you see here is basically small tools available for you to achieve your objective of digital. Let's take a random example here. Now you have, if I look at data integration, you have Apache Hadoop. Apache Hadoop is, as soon as you hear it, means big data integration. All that is built in. Use it. Next, you have let's take what else. You take predictive analytics, streaming analytics. Now this is again a beautiful chapter subject which we have. The data which gets streaming in, like for example, if you are in an election mode, now Gujarat elections are going on. If in election mode, they are going to be using this. A lot of data keeps coming in, and as the data keeps coming in from a Twitter or some Facebook, you keep checking them and running your application and give out data reports for that. That is what this means. So this is available on the fly. Tools are available which you use to create your own application. So any more questions? We still have 1 more minute. It was good. You know, you all of you use the chat mode very effectively. So if you have any questions, you send it to. I'll give you an email. So you were asking questions on how Lithan can help you in certification and all those things. Please send an email to this which I have just now sent you by chat. The basic ones, of course, as I told you, it's available online, free. For the advanced ones, you can contact here. Good. So Sachin says he has noted the email. Anupam says thanks. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? We still have a minute to go. So in a nutshell, you know, you got to choose before I end. As I said, you know, you have to go digital. Just I'll put back this slide given by the World Economic Forum and Harvard Business Review. Your shelf life of anything you learn is 5 years. If you are in ECC, your shelf life is 5 years or maybe less, but nothing more. So you got to learn the new things which I just now showed you. You got to master in one of the. You got to deep dive into one of the topics which I just now told you. And once you get in there, that shelf life again is about 3-4 years, and you got to do something else. Sad, tough, but true. But you have no choice. So what you do is look at all these things. We have given just an example. See where you want to deep dive. You suppose if you are a functional consultant, look at how your module has got changed in S4 HANA. Look at how the integration with finance is happening. If you are in finance, see how finance and controlling have got merged. How is financial closure becoming so? SAP says has become can be done in half the time of what you were doing earlier. If you are a developer, look at how you can use the open source coding which is there to talk to other devices. I repeat, devices. How do you use text? How do you use streaming data? These are the things now which are the new things which is happening. Please understand that there's one more new thing which has happened in SAP. I have not spoken about it, called Leonardo. That sits on top of HANA. Things are rapidly changing. So if you are an ABAP consultant, ABAP for SAP ABAP consultant, you mean to say SAP in ABAP is a must? No, I'm saying you have to know what do you call it? Open source software, which I just now spoke about. Open source software, I think I mentioned it somewhere here. Yeah, you know, all this Java, JavaScript, Python, Go, Node.js, JSON, all this open source code is what you could start using. You know, ABAP, you can only talk within SAP, ECC or HANA S4. But if you know all this, any of these open source languages, you can talk to others. That's the difference. That is the difference. And to know theory, you got to know this UI5. It's called, the language there in theory is called UI5. Yeah, I think you only written it. You need to go in for that. What are the prerequisites for getting HANA certification? I think I've given you that email. Ashish, Rudolph, contact Rudolph. Does Lithan Adi saying Lithan provides only SAP certification? No, it provides all. Please contact Rudolph as an email address, which I think I had given shared it earlier in this chat. If it's just look into that and you'll get it. Send an email to that person. So as you said, you can mention 1 minute, Tushar. As you mentioned, we can extend the SAP standard Fiori apps. So is there any documentation we can follow to extend the Fiori apps? Yes, there is. There's a course on that in OpenSAP. So you, and also my suggestion to you is Tushar is read. The best way to do is Tushar. Are you technical? Tushar says yes. Okay, Tushar, here's something for you. Go to OpenSAP and learn about Fiori basics. Okay, and then go to SAP Cloud, which I just now showed you, and you get a instance of cloud for yourself, which is free. Quickly log on and ask for it. It takes hardly 2-3 minutes to get one free access. And I completely forget as to how many days it is there available for you. But if you keep renewing it and run your first project on that, your Fiori app, create one there. Go to that SAP Cloud platform. Sorry, it's called SAP Cloud now. Sorry, Cloud, and get a new instance for your own self and create a new Fiori app and start working on it. How cool is that? Tushar, got it? Tushar says yes. Kalpesh, I don't know what you're writing here. cal.sap.com, I don't know what is that. Cloud library, yeah. I'm not able to read chat. It's there on my screen. So my screen, or screen you don't share? Okay. Rudolph, are you there? Can you just send one email to all participants with your email ID, please, once again? Okay, Rudolph is going to send one his email to all once again. Right. I hope. I think I've taken 5 minutes is over extension. I hope this session was useful for you guys. If you like this session, please say your thumbs up on the chat, please. Or any things which your expectation was different, please type that also. Deepak says thank you. Yes, thanks Deepak for your time. Sachin, very useful. He says thank you. Kalpesh says thank you. Thank you. Nihar Dixit, yes. Within says session was very informative. Good. I am very happy. I've spent my time. It's Friday evening, so I deserve a good weekend now. So I wish you all the best, guys. Please use the December is here. January is not too far off to make your new resolution, and I've given you a lot of points where you can make your new resolution. And please, for heaven's sake, don't be a statistic as what has been given over here, because everything is skill based now. If you look at it, the biggest problem our Prime Minister is having is also how do you improve the skill level of the common man. The same problem is with us in IT industry also. Now, how do we move into the new technology? By the time you finish learning digital, something else would have come up, which we don't know what it is. In fact, it has already come up. The new thing is machine learning and artificial intelligence now. So we don't know. So we got to be ahead of the curve and be relevant in this industry. So here is a chance where a lot of things is available free. The only thing which is not free is your time. So please make that free, and then you get everything. So with that, I thank you very much. Here is my LinkedIn. profile. You can connect me there, and then we can be in touch. So thank you all. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good weekend.